The D850 has multiple ducting options. What that means is each opening of the D850, whether it's the process air or the reactivation airflow, it has the ability to receive a piece of duct. The first thing we're going to do is I'll show you exactly how to hook them up. For the reactivation inlet, that's at the bottom of the unit. If you notice, the bottom of the unit has these 3 slots and these 2 snap buttons. The D850 will be supplied with the ducting and a stainless steel collar. Basically, this collar has 3 tabs and 1 tab with a hole in it that will lock into that snap button. The way to install it is you insert the tabs on the collar into the holes on the unit, pivot it slightly, and it'll lock in. Now this is the reactivation intake. This air should come from the warmest and the driest place possible, and that will guarantee a much more efficient drying process of the rotor. Next, there's a reactivation exhaust. Now this is the air that's going to come from the reactivation inlet, going to go through the heater, pass through the rotor, and force the moisture off of the rotor. It'll be carried out in this airflow. The way to hook up this ducting is the same as the bottom. There's 3 slots, there's 3 tabs, 1 tab with a hole in it, and 1 snap button on the side. Insert the tabs into the slots, pivot it, and it'll lock right in. Now, one thing that you do have to remember about this and any other desking is that this air has to go somewhere outside of your drying chamber, preferably outside into the atmosphere. Now, sometimes that's not an option. There are some other options just so long that the airflow matches, and one of them would be a stove vent. Now, this is 225 CFM of reactivation air. If a stove vent is 225 CFM or greater, then you could put this right into that and it'll carry it out, so long that air is actually ducted outside and not just into an attic. Last resort would be that you could take this air and put it into 2 extra large refrigerant dehumidifiers and allow the dehumidifier to condense the moisture in this airstream and then pump it out through the condensate line. Next, there's the process exhaust. Now this is the air that you want to use. So this is going to be the warm and dry air. To use that, basically pull the lay flat frame off, take the lay flat ducting, pass it through the frame, then fold it over. And then take that frame and slide it between the 5 screws that are mounted on the side of the D850. Now lastly, there will be some instances where you want to do a neutral pressure. In order to do that, you want to take the air from the area that you are drying and put it back into the dehumidifier. In this case, on a D850, it's an 18-inch duct on the top, and on the top they have these 4 tabs that's going to receive the wire form flex. Now, in order to install this, you want to take at least 2 of the wires on some of the light duty stuff. If it's a heavy duty ducting, it has a very large piece of wire. In that case, you could only use 1. But in this case, on this light duty stuff, we're just going to take 2 of the wires and tuck it in underneath each of the 4 tabs on the top of the D850. And once you get those done and the unit is running, this duct will stay fixed to the D850. One of the ducting options on a D850 for the intake is that you can reduce the size of the duct going into it from 18 down to 12. And a way to do that is the included adapter plate that comes along with the D850. It is stored underneath the filter. There's no worry, you can leave it inside even when you're running it full open because the size of the adapter will not impede the airflow on the blower. Now, there's a couple reasons why you might want to reduce the size of the duct because by going down to a smaller duct, you will decrease the airflow anyway. But if you don't need the air changes that the D850 is capable of doing, then it would be okay to go with the 12-inch. Maybe another reason is perhaps you only have 12-inch and you do have to duct it. By all means, use the adapter. Now the way it works is the adapter has these 4 tabs in each corner. Those tabs fall into the slots on the 4 corners of the D850. So with the adapter and the tabs facing away, take the 12-inch ducting, pass it through the adapter plate with only a couple of wires. If you do too many wires, it'll get too thick on the bottom side, and it'll make it a little bit more difficult to attach it to the top of the unit. Once it's passed through, simply align the tabs with the slots on the top, and then pivot it, and it'll lock itself in.